Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilmember Seeger,
Here.
Councilmember Kyleman,
Present.
Councilmember Gramblett,
Here.
Councilmember Price,
Present.
Councilmember Happy,
Here.
Councilmember Pruitt,
Here.
Mayor Wood.
Here.
All right.
All right, additions or amendments to the agenda?
There are no changes.
There are no changes. All right, adoption of the consent agenda.
I make a motion to adopt the consent agenda, which includes the approval of the action items, the action minutes of July 13, 2026, and ratification of the bill in the amount of $509,724.21.
Second.
All right. I got a motion by Pruitt, second by Price for adoption of the consent agenda. Any discussion?
I do,
All right,
I do have one question on the, pretty sure I saw that in there, I'm sorry, I didn't look at it real quick. On the swag for the PCC, is that on here? Oh,
Yeah, it's like page 2.
Thank you. Page 2. Is that again for giving
1750.
1750? 17 what?
That's the amount of
Oh, yeah.
expenditure.
So is that for just giving away again? Is that
Yes.
what we're,
It is.
okay, and is that a new way to use tourism?
No, they've done that forever.
Oh, they have?
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting. I just don't find, okay. And then also, on the one up above that. On the deputy, on the contract with the deputy, are we done paying off the,
we've been done with that.
okay, and
Yes.
okay.
With it back, because we're a few months behind because we missed it, but that's been done
It was a long times a year.
Yeah. That's been done for
Okay.
a while.
All right, thank you.
Any more, Bernard?
Yeah, just regarding the PCT day item. So I don't have issue with that because that's being used by the tourism committee to promote the town. That's not a giveaway to like feed backpackers or give them that first aid kits. It's there to promote our town and hopefully have people come and stay in the town and go for a hike or come in the town and and enjoy, what we have from a trail system. It doesn't obviously have to be PCT, but I assume they share about Trail 400 and mountain biking network and all the things they're doing. So to me, that's a different class of expenditure from the last one, but again, I dispute, I think, I'm not sure it was appropriate use. I wanted to know more about it.
Okay, just two things. When you approve the consent agenda, if you're gonna talk about one of the items on the consent agenda, you need to pull off the consent agenda and then talk about it. You haven't done that in the past, but that's the proper way to do it, because the consent is consent, there's no discussion. Number two, I'll report to you the city administrator report, what the city attorney said about the
Oh,
expenditure.
okay. Yeah, I haven't finished.
We
it
didn't
yet.
care to read that before we go.
That's all I had.
Any other? All right, so we got a motion on the floor by Pruitt, second by Price. For the approval of the adoption of the consent agenda. For the minutes of July 13th, 2026, and ratification of the bills in the amount of $509,724.41. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay.
Mayor, oh, sorry.
Here you-
Question, no, I said aye, I voted aye.
So-
So I have a question for afterwards, I'm sorry.
Okay, do you wanna do your question now, or once I'm done doing what I'm,
You can finish.
okay. So I have a motion on the floor by Pruitt, second by Price for adoption of the consent agenda. And it passed unanimously. Everybody voted yes. All right, your question.
So for knowledge's sake, when we make a motion and we open it for discussion, what is appropriate to discuss in that if we're not supposed to discuss?
For a consent agenda, it's a motion to adopt the consent agenda as is. If you wanna talk about any of the items on the consent agenda, a change to the minutes or a question about how this expenditure was, you pull that item out of the consent agenda, pass the consent agenda, and then talk about what the other item is that you need to do, and then you pass a motion approving that as amended or changed, whatever you do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that become another action item?
It does not become another action item, it's right after the consent agenda, because you have a question that was on the consent agenda.
I don't understand how that would work procedurally, because if somebody else makes a motion to approve their consent agenda as it stands. And somebody has a question about an, item in the bills list.
Then you pull it off.
Then somebody just says, I have a problem with this, and then you amend your motion to pull that off and have it voted, have it discussed after you approve the consent agenda.
We've done it that way before, where we
Yeah.
pulled it off, like if there was something in the bills, you didn't want to pull the bills out.
Yeah, we just kind of got sloppy.
Yeah. But our,
Okay, so just so we're clear. When that happens, then the consent agenda that's being approved at that moment is everything but that item.
yes,
And then the second vote for that item.
That's correct.
Thank you.
correct. All right, we're good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well,
Well,
we've
thank
been, we've been
We've done
sloshing,
it.
we've been sloshing in the.
What's my phrase these days? I'm just the arrow.
Right. All right, so we're moving on to appearances of interested citizens to share a variety of perspectives on issues facing our community. Now, Laurel, if you would please come forward. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
I just wanted to come and thank everyone at City Council and Tourism Committee, Gordon, everyone who supported the recent Nietzsche Wampum Canoe family visit down at Ring Park. Your $1,000 and the generosity of numerous people in the community made this the biggest, most successful visit that they've had. We were able to, at the very last minute, Val from Gorge Canoe Club came to me and really wanted to get the canoe members on the stern wheeler because many of them are very familiar with the stern wheeler. They have family and friends who have watched it go by as they're fishing on the river, and none of them had ever actually been on the stern wheeler. So it was an extremely meaningful gesture. The people that also supported this, Jetty Light, you, Ralph Whitefoot, who cooked for everyone, Brigham Fish Market, who donated the cost of half of what they prepared for the meal, Main Street, Brushfire Studios, and Jefferson and Misty Green, who organized the canoe family voyage. And they really wanted to make sure that I came before you and thank you on their behalf for your generous support of them coming here. They are extremely excited to come back next year. And that's really all I had to say. I also want to let you know that for National Night Out, I have gotten finally the commitment of a woman to come and teach us all how to line dance for an hour. I think it's gonna be super fun. And that's it, that's all.
Thank you, Laurel, you can't.
I can't ask her a question.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you can ask. Ask.
You ask afterwards.
Yeah. that's okay.
It's standard practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So there's no one else. Moving on to special reports. We've got Ben from I'm tongue-tied. Ben from Bike the Gorge, co-founder. He's gonna do a presentation for us.
Yeah, I heard from Gordon last week that, bike safety along Forest Lane came up, so I want to address that a little bit. I also want to introduce myself and the business. I've been meaning to get here for a while, but I have, for the last 2.5 years, I've had a son that goes to bed around this time, so it's been hard to get here, but I'm here and I'm glad to be here. Started the business in 2023. At the time, it was just rental business. We had 12 e-bikes. We'd start down on Herman Creek Lane, ride down to Wyatt and Viento and back. It was just me, a few part-time seasonal employees. And it was, just kind of an idea that me and a friend had, and we started it, but it gained some momentum. So fast forward, today we're in year 4. We've got, in addition to myself, 3 other full-time year-round employees who are all Cascade Locks residents, several other part-time, either year-round or seasonal employees who live in the river or Cascade Locks or North Bonneville. So have become a growing employer. We've just moved into a new building that was built in part for us on Herman Creek Lane on the Surge property. We expanded from a rental business to be a retail business, a service business. Um, Need to focus on e-bikes. We're, I said, we're like a spandex-free bike shop, right? We're not really for the people doing 50 miles on their their road bike, right? We are expanding kind of universe of people who can ride bikes and want to ride bikes and can get to here and to Viento and eventually the initial point and eventually the Hood River and back on e-bike and with all the hills around here. That motor is a big part of it. And I know some of you have already been into our shop as customers or retail service rentals, so appreciate that. A few other things I want you to know about our business in context for the part about safety on forest lanes. So we the rental part of our business primarily operates from Wyatt Trailhead. So we have a van and a trailer. We have a special use permit with the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department. So we take that van and trailer down to Wyatt. There, that allows people to start right on the bike path and be on the bike path the whole way. Wyatt to Viento and back. And then they finish their ride at Wyatt, and then most of them will drive into town, grab lunch, and go about the rest of their day. But the vast majority of our customers are never riding through town. We do have some people who choose to start from our shop for a longer ride, and they usually go east in the morning. And then if they have time and aren't totally out of gas in the afternoon, they'll go west into town, grab lunch, go across the bridge of the gods. So we do have some customers who ride on forest lane, but it's not a huge thing. We do already instruct people as part of our safety briefings to ride single file. We ask that of them whether they're on the road or the bike path. It's safer that way, right? Even on the bike path, there's two-way traffic. If you're coming around a curve 2-3 wide, right, and someone's coming the other direction, that's a safety risk. So that is part of our safety briefing. I have asked staff to emphasize that with folks. Don't kind of look at a report I heard is that there was complaints about people riding 3 abreast down Forest Lane. Certainly possible that could have been one of our rental groups, but I went back and looked at kind of the last couple of months of the people on our Gorge Town Trail Tour, which includes riding westbound down Forest Lane. The number of groups that were 3 or more people was, single digits. So, yeah, so I suspect there's, well, I know there's a lot of other people who ride along that stretch. Not all of them are customers. Certainly we'll do what we can on the education front. A couple other things I've learned just this afternoon. I did talk with Tara Lingley from ODOT, who's the Historic Highway State Trail lead, and she said Forest Lane is the kind of designated bike route for the Historic Highway connection. So that is where ODOT routes people, and if you see one of their Historic Highway State Trail maps, it will route people on Forest Lane as opposed to frontage. So one of the reasons that is to avoid bike and truck crossings at the way station. So trucks pulling out of the way station, bikes coming across that stop sign on frontage. A couple other safety things that we've observed. Obviously on Forest Lane, there are sections of bike lane, but it doesn't connect all the way from one part of the frontage, right? There's some gaps in that. And so you have people coming from a bike lane onto the shared roadway. Those transitions are always moments of a little danger when cars are in the area. And then, the other challenge, sometimes there are cars parked in the bike lane, so then you've got another moment where bikes are shifting from the bike lane into the car traffic. Yeah, we'd love to hear if there's any concerns that I haven't touched on or additional context. Gordon and I only spoke briefly, but we do want to be a partner in this. We do take our role as a community member seriously, right? We've applied for and won grants to buy a bike lane sweeper that we use to help sweep the the gravel and debris off the bike lanes in town. We won a grant this year to help install bike racks down at Starvation Creek State Park near the Hole in the Wall Falls. We've sponsored local events, contributed gift cards to local fundraisers, right? I've got business cards I'm happy to give to all of y'all. I'd love to hear from you when things come up. It's always easier for me to address it when I know about it right away, and I can kind of pinpoint, okay, that complaint was made on Tuesday, it must have been, or it could have been this group, right? We had a group of 5, so it is helpful for me to know about this stuff, but yeah. I'd love to turn it over to you and hear any questions or concerns you have.
Okay. Do anybody have questions, comments? Go ahead, Pete.
I didn't want to be first, but I
You're
didn't want
first.
to turn you away and say, Ben, thanks for coming tonight.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here. As a business owner myself, it's no small feat to start a business and see it successful. And it's, I think, challenging in a small town like this to find a workforce and find a space, and you're making it happen. And we need businesses in this town to provide jobs for people as well. So, I'm kind of curious from your perspective, is there anything that would be helpful from council or from the city to help support your business?
Well, I think our biggest business challenge this year is something that's already on your radar, right, which is I-84, making it really difficult for people to get here from Portland. We've seen pretty significant drop off in like afternoon bookings this year compared to past years. Thankfully, our retail business is growing really well, and that's helped offset a bit of a dip in our rental revenue this year. But yeah, it's really tough, and I know I think I can speak for the other rental businesses in town, the tour operators. They're probably feeling it even more than we are, because we do have service and retail. We've expanded in other ways, but yeah, I've talked to a hotel owner in town who's had the same kind of drop off. Everyone I talk to is seeing that. So to the extent that you have audiences at ODOT, I think helping them understand the magnitude of the disruption. My understanding is that there was provisions built into the contract that penalize the contractor for being late or for being, missing their deadline to reopen both lanes. It's also my understanding that those provisions often don't get enforced, that those penalties often don't get collected because they don't want to have lawsuits, and they consider it too big a hassle, is my understanding. So to the extent that the town, the city can pressure ODOT to really make this make this a priority to get open, and to have there be some consequences for folks who didn't get it open in time.
So just jumping ahead,
Yeah.
precursor, the job is supposed to be done in October. The lanes will be open by the end of August. And then work will continue until the end of October with occasional single lane closures as necessary. So that's good news.
Yeah.
That's good.
I drove by there today, a lot of rebar, and looks like we're getting close to pouring concrete.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it closely, because I.
Right, we're all are. Bernard,
The other thing I put on your radar, we signed a MOU with the tourism committee. We had signed a lease to rent that spot next to Thunder Island, that little small blue building. Our initial plans were to use it exclusively as a booking office for ourselves and for other partner businesses where we get an affiliate commission. The tourism committee approached us, and they were interested in having a visitor center. They had their eyes on that space. We'd already signed the lease, but we said, hey, the more the merrier. So we worked with Laurel from Main Street and the city and said, we'll create some space or agreement to really share this space with you, and the tourism committee can operate a visitor center. I think there've been I get quite a few people asking me, like, when are you, Ben, gonna open the visitor center? I think I want to be clear that our obligation was never to operate the visitor center. Our agreement was to make space for the visitor center to be operated by the tourism committee. Something Laurel and I have been working with the tourism committee is, how how do we make that happen, right? I think, it's tough working with, relying on volunteers in the summer. At the same time, we had this hope of having a space that would be open, at least 5, 6, 7 days a week. And that the city would be there operating a visitor center, we would help out when we were staffing it, but that there'd be a collaboration there, so. Yeah, I think at some point we should loop back on that and Laurel can, might have more to share, after connecting with the tourism committee and seeing where they're at, but, I think that is an opportunity to collaborate. We've been, keeping a visitor log, everyone who has visited, while we've been, had our booking office, operational and what they're asking about. And we just got someone from the Forest Service coming tomorrow, so we'll have Northwest Forest passes that people can buy there. It's been a common question, that kind of thing, but I do feel we're kind of plugging some holes, doing our best to make it operate somewhat as a visitor center, while also I think wanting to share that that's not sustainable for us, especially as we get into the winter. We're gonna be there less often, so I think we should reconnect about what that relationship looks like, how the city's gonna staff it, and if it's a conversation about us, the council putting out a contract to bid to operate a visitor center, that's the kind of thing we'd love to bid on, but not the kind of thing that we can do pro bono indefinitely, so. Sure.
All right, Bernard, did you have a question?
Well, just a comment, it's kind of it's a vision. So, one of the funnest things, bike rides I've ever done is I went to San Francisco a long time ago. I rented a bike in downtown. I pedaled across the Golden Gate Bridge and you end up in Sausalito. It's a cool little art community. And then to get back, you take the ferry across the little bay, right? It's just a beautiful loop. And I've always thought, why can't we do that in the gorge? I mean, it would be fun, like start in Cascade Locks, go across the Bridge of the Gods. You don't have to go down to 14, you probably know, to get to Stevenson. You can do back roads the whole way. It's really pretty back there. And then somehow get on a boat and take those bikes and end up back in Cascade Locks.
I love it, let's make it happen.
Yeah. That's my terrain for bike to gorge.
That's great.
Just
And
FYI.
that did jog another thought. We would love it to be on your radar that around November is when they expect the new section of the state trail to open. That'll connect where the bike path currently ends, a little bit east of Viento State Park with the Mitchell Point Tunnel. So that'll add another 2 miles round trip onto our main route. It's gonna be a really big deal, I think, for us and the community, and that Mitchell Point Tunnel has kind of been on an island since it opened 2 years ago, and now it'll connect as part of the bike path, and really special, so we're hoping it would be open sooner. I just did a tour of it last week. They're still finishing the bridges and they've got the paving to do, some MSC walls, but their deadline is the end of the year. They think it'll be open in November. We will be open year round at the gorge, so we'll continue to do rentals even when it's a bit slower, and hope for some nice weather, and experimenting with some fat tire e-bikes that we'll take up to Mount Hood this year, permit pending, as a winter thing, so. Yeah, more to come, but I'll hand out
Does
this
anybody
card.
have a question?
Oh, yeah.
Comment?
Just a quick comment,
Yeah.
what an awesome opportunity that you provide people like me. I've had an opportunity to come out here and enjoy it, and there's a little bit of rumbling about the tourists that come and flutter the street, but I think the general consensus is that we're happy to be able to share such a wonderful place. And thank you for spreading that, and building a community and the camaraderie. I know that I was taking my dog for a bike ride the other day. I thought it was so weird that there was a line of pine cones, like right down the middle of the bike lane, and I couldn't figure it out. It's from when it floods, huh? And the pine cones are floating down and they just kind of off. And so having street sweeper come through those bike lanes. Thank you for doing that to the community. I
Yeah.
think that's wonderful. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you, and yeah, I tell ODOT and state parks and the Forest Service every year, our business wouldn't exist without the public infrastructure that they've created and steward, and that includes the city, so thank you.
Who else has their hand up? Kate, you have another question?
Kind of back to the original comment,
Yeah,
question, I guess, was
yeah.
safety on frontage road and Forest Lane.
Yeah,
From the people that do ride those areas, have you had any feedback from your customers about experiences they've had with vehicles? I mean, are people yielding and giving them space?
yeah, I think frontage road is the most nervy, cause it's a higher speed limit, cars are going 45 plus, yeah, 55 down there, and there's no bike lane on that section, and it's just a soft shoulder, it's pretty short, you know, you're only on there for 3/4 of a mile, but, yeah, I don't know if that's, city, county, or ODOT, maintained road, but certainly that would be a real, improvement down the road if there were a way to add bike lanes, on those shoulders, yeah, but overall, I mean, yeah, the feedback is, just had someone today just commenting on how uncrowded the bike routes are, you know, if you ride. We do send some people down to Oklahoma Falls, we have a tour this year that starts from Tooth Rock Trailhead and goes west, but that's, you know, tons of cars, tons of bikes, tons of people, tons of traffic, and people really, yeah, I think we've really enjoyed the year, especially on going up and over Wyeth Road for the ones that started town, like that's just such a, you get away from I-84, you get away from the noise. There are very few cars that take that route, you get to go up that big hill, come down past the farm there, it's really idyllic, I bring my son on that route as much as I can. I can usually feel this on the way back at the same spot every time, it's like a little patch of sun, and I feel his head on my back as well, on sleep, so, yeah, no, it's been great, yeah, as the state trail extends, and it eventually connects to the river, I think that'll open up even more possibilities.
Thank you for coming tonight and sharing with us.
Yeah, thanks.
I appreciate it. All right, moving on. Public hearings, resolution number 1528, authorizing an exemption from the public bidding requirements for the fire hall microgrid and solar project.
Any comments? Opposed? In general? We'll close here.
All right, so we'll close the public hearing at 7:28.
Compromise between the two would be better.
All right. Moving on to action items, approve resolution number 1527, establishing a prepared food and non-alcoholic beverage tax.
So we've talked about this for a long time, and we've come to the time when it's time to put it on the ballot, and that's what this resolution does. I did have a question about ordinance 490. There's a first and second reading. The ballot measure, the resolution puts the ballot measure on the ballot. If it is successful on November 3rd, then you come together on November 9th and approve the ordinance. On the 9th, first reading, 23rd of November, second reading. And that gets it done in time for us to put out the permit applications, forms to the businesses and get them returned for the effective of January 1st. So that's why there was a first and second reading on the ordinance. If the ballot measure fails, there's no need to approve the ordinance.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 1527, establishing your prepared food and non-alcoholic beverage tax.
All right, I got a motion on the floor by Price, seconded by Pruitt. To approve resolution number 1527, establishing a prepared food and non-alcoholic beverage tax. Any discussion? Bernard.
Just one thing, so the city administrator, you show two. Two sections of revenue in the staff report. The first one is our existing, and the second one is. Presumes that PFPT of preferred food and beverage tax revenue of $250,000. Now, those aren't added up, but am I correct in assuming if I added them up, the total would be the same for both of those?
That's correct, but if you notice the last sentence of the next paragraph, this does not indicate that more resources could be available.
I understand that, yes,
Okay.
thank you, yes,
It's trying to compare with and without, and the load that's on that the citizens have versus one for the other.
to change the results should the citizens adopt it, okay, and. This came up in the previous meeting, but I don't want this budget for fire to reflect where I'm at as a council member. If the thing passes, it's my interest that, we don't reduce the general fund support dollar for dollar. We actually retain some of that, so we can do some of the things that the fire department needs. Like starting as a, equipment replacement fund for fire engine and ambulance and brush rig and all of the capital that's. It's improperly funded under current revenue, situation. So I just want to say that for the public, and I don't want them to say, wait a second, this doesn't do anything but just reduce the virtual zero funds, like, no, it does that, yes, it does that. But there will be a further conversation on what that looks like and how we support our fire department, should this pass.
Right.
And will that be done in the budget process next
Yeah.
year? That's when we'll have that.
When you have,
When we know
have more information on about how much it's going to be.
Right.
So,
Yeah, sort of,
Because right now
one
it's-
quarter, right? Well, two, maybe
You
two.
will have, by the time you do the budget, you'll have the first quarter revenue,
Right. So,
which would be in April 15th is when it's due.
so in reality, we're really not gonna have a really good picture until not next year, but the year after's budget.
To get a full year of it,
Right.
yes, because during the tourist season, when the revenues are higher, you're gonna get more, but it will give you a baseline of that. The worst quarter for tourism.
all right, any other questions, comments? Bernard.
Yeah, so if council approves this tonight, then it is gonna make its way through the process, get put on the ballot
That's
for
correct.
November. And it's at that point that we can no longer in a council meeting or any other forum, other than when we're on our private time, advocate on behalf of this bill. It should we desire the voters to approve it. Can you review the rules for
Yes,
that?
after tonight, you cannot use any city resources to encourage people to vote for
Or against?
or against. There'll be no city resources.
No city resources.
Right,
There can be city resources sent for objective. This is the facts of the
right,
situation.
right.
And
It's
the fact,
5%,
yeah,
it's
we will,
basic facts of the matter.
we'll redo these two, to be these two bulletins, whatever these are.
Handout.
Yeah.
Posters, we'll redo them to be, past the city attorney for approval.
Okay, but just to be clear, if I'm at the coffee shop and the citizen says, hey, I heard you guys put this thing on the ballot, it's like, yes, we did. I'm full foot, like, yes, we did, and if I'm for it, I can tell all the reason I'm for it,
That's
there's
correct.
no
Yes.
issue. No one's gonna come back and say, you violated it, that is not part of the restriction
That's correct.
Right, you're a
on
elected
use of
official.
my voice.
Yeah,
On the other hand, if I were to do that,
Keep
it'd be a violation.
yes,
Yeah,
Okay,
cause
you done?
yes, thank you.
it's my hope that we as a council will be knocking on doors to
I will
make this
be,
happen.
yeah.
All right,
So,
any other discussion on this, comments? All right, so I've got a motion on the floor by Price, second by Pruitt, to approve resolution number 1527, establishing a prepared food and non-alcoholic beverage tax. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, this motion does pass, and it was put by Price, seconded by Pruitt. And it does pass to approve resolution number 1527, establishing a prepared food and non-alcoholic beverage tax. So that does pass.
Madam Mayor.
Yes,
So in that motion you read, you said establishing, but it's not really established, it's referring a prepared food, but to the voters. It's different. Does that matter, Mr.
It
Administrator?
does not.
Okay.
I mean, the city attorney wrote the resolution title.
Oh,
you good? Okay. Moving on to approve resolution number 1528, authorizing exemption from the public bidding requirements for the fire hall and the microgrid and solar project.
And because this project is a little special, there's not a lot of contractors out there that do this kind of thing. The McKed, the engineers and the grantors have indicated that they would encourage a design build application that generally leads to a reduced price and more impactful or more effective expenditure of funds to accomplish this task. And so you, as the local contract review board, has the opportunity or the authority to designate this as a design build rather than a competitive bid process. And that's the question for you.
Is that resolution in our?
Yeah, 1528, yes.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 1528, authorizing an exemption from the public bidding requirements for fire hall, grid and solar.
second.
Second. All right, so I got a motion on the floor by Price, second by Seeger, to approve resolution number 1528, authorizing exemption from the public bidding requirements for the fire hall, microgrid and solar project. Any discussion? Bernard?
Yes, so thank you, Mayor. So just so we're clear, even though this is gonna be a competitive bid, it's gonna be a design build process. We're gonna be seeking contractors who are going to make a design build proposal to us. There could be multiple, and they will compete in that market for this project. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. That was my first.
But they also know the budget that they have to work with.
Sure. Yeah. And then, let's see, hold on. Sorry, one of them. Okay. All right, so McKed was the driver of this. They recommended.
Actually engineered work and the McKed group, by our financial policies, do any grant funding over $100,000. They are the administrators of that grant funding. They also encourage them to do that because it's gonna save money in the long run for the whole thing.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Man,
Sure.
And the total budget, construction budget I see in section 1 and B, or sorry. Let me just go, Section two.
$777,851.
and it's completely grant funded, there's nothing.
That's perfect.
All right, any other questions, comments? All right, so I got a motion on the floor by Price and second by Seeger to approve resolution number 1528, authorizing exemption from the public bidding requirements for the fire hall, microgrid and solar project. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. All right, this motion passed unanimously to approve resolution number 1528. The motion was made by Price, seconded by Seeger. And all voted yes. So it passed. All right, moving on, approve roof replacement contract.
Sheldon went to the same three people that we've worked with before. They asked them to put update their bids for their estimates to repair the roof. You have the three estimates. Urge you to pick one. Because we have to stop the leaks. We only put $85,000 in the budget. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
we have to make a motion so we can have a discussion.
Yep.
I make a motion to approve the City Hall roof replacement bid from Kent Home Building for $50,245.
We'll,
Okay,
And I'll second that, please.
okay, so I got a motion on the floor by Price, second by Seeger to approve. Kent. Yeah.
I know,
Kent Home and Building, I already mentioned it, it's Gordon's fault and Kathy, because she's not here. He accidentally gave us double sided,
yeah,
so.
'cause this is like confusing something.
He was spoiled with Kathy.
Yeah, yeah.
So we asked not to get double sided stuff in, because it's harder to follow, so it is Kent. So we have a motion on the floor and a second, any Price, go ahead.
Does staff have a recommendation of which vendor? Which company?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And what did you say the budget amount was again?
85,000. So if it's necessary to replace 4x8 sheets of plywood on there at $52 a sheet, they got us a little bit of money. We can do that. That's not included in there.
Right, Tiffany,
So is there, I mean, it's pretty significant, 50,000 versus 96, 98,000. It's not any lesser of a bid, it's, I mean,
The qualities are equivalent.
the same.
We just have this little company out of the Dalles that's willing to come in and do it for us.
all right, Tom,
Well, that's my question,
Yeah,
is it kind of raises those red flags, you got two of them that are up there, but they're pretty close to each other, and you got the one, it's like half of them.
So
Yeah.
last year, Kent's bid was 46,000. And it was not even brought to the council to consider. And we have to stop the leaks.
yeah,
Well, again,
Yeah.
as long as people are comfortable with who these folks are, and I noticed on it, the two of them talk about the years of life of their shingles. I don't think they talked about the years of life of their shingles.
Pretty comparable. We're just trying to save the building for the time being, but yeah. It's, a shingle is a shingle unless you want to put metal roof on. I put metal roof on the Baker City Hall. It cost 10% more, but lasted 100 years instead of 50-year shingles, so. But 50 years of it is better than what we got right now.
Well, I'm not sure shingles are shingles. There are different qualities and different levels of them.
Yeah.
A shingle, and it'd be nice that they said, yeah, we're using this level.
You've got all the information I've got, that's just
Yeah, I don't see, the other ones are
30-year limited warranty.
40 years to, I think 38, 39 years, 40 years.
Yeah, this one's a 30-year limited warranty. Yeah. No, that was the other ones.
I did notice though on all the bids that, if we need extra plywood, which we probably would, I would imagine, I don't know. They are the cheaper too, one of them was at $92 a sheet, the other one was 75, and they're at $52 a sheet.
And I get that too, but
What,
just go to
yeah,
a hardware store or anywhere, or a plywood store, and there's a lot of different levels of cost, the value of. I mean, I can get you some really cheap plywood for
right,
$30, and I get you some nice plywood for $100.
yeah,
So same difference there.
Yeah.
Is replacement gonna be a cheap piece of plywood as opposed to a nice quality piece of plywood?
right,
Talking about plywood,
Courtney.
the first 12 are included in one bid. Whereas the other bid, they say nothing's included, but the price per sheet is cheaper, so it's.
Yeah. All right, sure,
I also don't see anything on their bid, on Kent Home and Building for, labor warranty. Do we know if they provide any kind of warranty on their work?
Okay. With all the information I got, that was their whole bid.
So I'm assuming that Sheldon's okay with these folks, that he knows their
Yeah.
work
Yeah,
ethic
he's the one
and
that-
their quality.
yeah,
Well, I have no problem, I mean, if we know somebody and we're comfortable who they are, I have no problem with that.
all right. Bernard,
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So a couple things. One, and I've asked this on, anytime we do a competitive bid, I like to see references. Now, in some cases, we actually use the vendor, and we know that they have a good track record. The reference checks that are done on these vendors were not mentioned in the staff report. I asked the city administrator what the story was, so that's my first question, do we have references that says, yes, I got a roof done by Ken Home, and did a spectacular job again, they were on time, they were on budget, and the quality met my expectations. Those are the kind of questions I would ask in a reference check, if I were overseeing a bid like this. What's the status of that?
Sheldon is the one that.
Sheldon.
Reached out to these three people that he's around their work before.
Okay, and then,
Well, I think Ken did do the whole, right, which you guys. Right here by the, cemetery park. The vacation rental now, that Jamie used to live in. Yeah, they did that.
all right, so, and then my second one was, and just to be clear, for future reference, I would like to see, staff recommends this contractor. And we talked to we talked to previous customers, and they said good things about that vendor. That's the standard I'm seeking as a council member when we spend public dollars, just to be clear, that's what I would like to see on all future bid projects. We go through the process, but we always do reference checks to confirm what we hope is a quality vendor, because we don't want a fly-by-night vendor. We don't want someone who gives a very low bid and they screw us over with change orders because they're incompetent. That happens in the construction world, and as a steward of public resource, I don't want that to happen in the city. So I want to say that for the record. Now, with regards to Kent, am I reading this right? One of the bullets is lifetime architectural shingles
Yeah,
and ridge caps.
I think that's the brand.
That's
Oh, that's the brand.
Owens Corning Duration, that's
yeah.
their label.
Okay, well, I would like to maybe entertain a friendly amendment where we say, we'll award the bid to Ken, but they need to give us some type of warranty for their work. I don't know what's reasonable for a roof project, but I don't want this thing leaking in 5 years because we went up with a low bidder. I want them to guarantee stand by their work. I think we should consider that in council.
Can you get that for us? Some type of warranty, what their warranty is.
And ask the question. I can't force them into doing something they're not willing to do, but yeah.
Go ahead, Pete.
The other thing, I appreciated in the Romville A1 roofing and remodeling. For whatever reason, I don't have CNC in the package, but I think I saw it in the digital version. That's when I went through it, because
Okay, on the back of one of your pages.
Was it back to the second word?
Yeah,
yeah,
this is confusing.
There we go, thank you.
Very
Uh,
confusing.
So it says daily cleanup of the work area and collection of debris in a dumpster, including using magnets to collect nails in the yard / driveway. It's so windy around here, and I didn't see anything on here about cleanup.
It's pretty standard,
I don't think we should be assuming anything. I mean, I had a roof replaced in a place where I was, and the roofers made, their tear off was to put it on the ground, and so.
All right. Courtney.
It does say remove and dispose. And they all say remove and dispose.
They did pick it up. I'm just saying that they threw it on the ground and then went through and picked it up later, and they missed stuff, and so, when I see that discrepancy in the bids, I just wonder why.
Tiffany, did you have a question?
Yes. I'm curious why Sheldon isn't here to discuss this.
I didn't ask.
I don't know, I mean, because I hear these concerns, and I mean, it's like one of those that seems too good to be true, but I mean, at the same time, they did bid 48,000 to us last year, so it's only $2,000 more than what it was. So, I don't know, I mean,
And Sheldon recommended all three.
He reached out to all three.
Yeah.
He had dealt with all.
Yeah. So. Sure,
How urgent is this to be passed?
we need to get it done before rainy season. This roof is bad at any point. I mean, it's bad.
I'm just wondering if we could delay it one more meeting so we can maybe get more information. It sounds like there are maybe some concerns.
Mm,
Hold on just a second. Do you think?
Well, I don't know.
I'm good with Sheldon's recommendation.
I am too.
I'll stand behind Sheldon.
Bernard, did you have another question?
Yeah, so to that question, if we delayed it, but then awarded it at the next meeting, we had our answers in, questions answered. How long is this project gonna take? Do we have an estimate?
We have no estimates.
I mean, as long as it's done before October,
Right.
I'm comfortable, but we've got, to me, that's plenty enough time to delay it one meeting. And ideally get a warranty, have them commit to a warranty for their work. And make sure some of these small details, like, yes, we're gonna clean up, we're not gonna leave you guys a mess. We're gonna adhere to similar standard the other bidders provided. And that's not gonna cause change orders and project delays, you know, let's just get it done, but let's get it
Go
done.
ahead, Pete.
Sorry, the
That's
last
okay.
question I have is just timeline,
Yeah.
could we ask, can you get it done before October? Cause if they say, no, we can't do this till next summer,
That's a
well, that might
problem.
weigh into our decision about if we wanna
I
go.
agree.
Do you think Sheldon already asked these questions? Or?
I'm sure it was for immediate,
Yeah.
John.
So. Courtney?
I don't know if it. This, helps anybody's concerns, but Kent has had their Oregon license since 2014, so it's 12 years running a business in the Dallas. Which says something.
And the other part of council, I just want to point out, and I don't want to sound like I'm nitpicking or anything, but you guys had the information. If we wanted warranty stuff and all of this, we would have had time to get it. You know, to wait till the meeting, whenever you guys are given the information, to wait till right now to say we want this. We should have done a better job and asked for it previous. So to slow the staff down and to doubt Sheldon's recommendation, I mean. Right. No, not doubting it, that's the wrong term, but to, because it's not in writing, and I see what you guys are saying, like, it's not in writing, so it's not here. I don't know, did they just not include all the stuff like these other guys did, I don't know. But I'm just wanted to point out that we've had the information for a while. Tiffany?
but to be fair, Sheldon is not making a recommendation, he's given us 3 different things to pick from with kind of not. I would say, well, yeah, detailed information, so I mean. Sheldon hasn't made a recommendation, he's given us 3 bids that he went out to ask for. I don't see a recommendation from Sheldon in here.
You didn't recommend them to you?
You picked the ones that he,
This is the people he reached out to and he sent back the quotes.
Okay.
So he knew he was gonna ask.
Courtney,
The last 10 years, they've had 0 complaints and 0 claims filed against them and no civil penalties. And they have never had their license suspended in the last 10 years.
You're seeing that online.
On the Oregon, CCD.
all right, so we got a lot to cover tonight, what do we wanna do?
Call for the vote.
We have a motion.
Well, we do have a motion,
I'm wondering if we could I'm comfortable moving forward, so long as they can meet our timeline. Could we put that caveat on the motion,
What? Our time, what time?
getting it done this summer before October?
See.
Do I amend my motion?
do you want it amended, so it says that they meet the timeline to get it done? So what's our timeline, is it like 2 months, what are we, before rainy season?
September 30th.
September 30th?
Right, all work complete by September 30th.
I thought October 1st, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Something different.
So, do you want her to amend the motion to have it say that?
We made the motion conditional upon warranty cleanup question and completion.
Completion, thank you, that would be my request.
Yes.
Those three things.
Okay, so I'll let you, you wanna just state it?
He just said so amended.
Okay, and so we want completion, and what was the other?
Request for warranty,
Details.
You know,
and agree to clean up
Daily cleanup.
and
specifications.
warranty, okay, that way I can keep it straight, okay. All right, so we got a motion on the floor by Price, that,
It's been changed, so the person that needs to be seconded, this needs to be seconded.
did he already second it?
I did second the amended
Amended.
motion.
So,
Go ahead and make the.
but I need a motion and a second to
Well,
go.
she just amended it to what he said, which was the warranty, the cleanup,
And,
be
okay.
done before the end of
right,
September.
I know you gotta let me,
I was gonna let you finish and then.
yeah, you guys, I can only do one person at a time.
Stand by.
So many sheets of paper, and I'm trying to be. So, she amended the motion, and you're gonna second it? You want me to
I
repeat
thought
it
you were
before you
repeating it,
second
and then
it?
I'll second. Yeah.
Okay, so we got a motion on the floor for, to approve the city hall roof replacement bid for Kent Home. For $50,242 with daily cleanup, completion and warranty information. And that was motion by Price,
Seconded by.
Second by-
Second that motion.
Seeger. All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, so this motion has passed unanimously. The motion was by Price, seconded by Seeger for Kent Home and Building with an amendment for the cleanup daily and the completion date and warranty information.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. All right, moving on, reports and presentation, department reports.
We're gonna have the fire chief come get a little presentation on what the fires that we've been responding to. Nothing in town, but he is on a trail rescue at the moment, so he couldn't be here.
All right, committee reports.
Just the tourism committee minutes at the end of the packet.
All right, and city administrator report.
Thank you. At your desk, you have the report, 220 Benson. We were informed by a neighbor that a contractor was on the property July 14th. That contractor informed the people that were on the property that the bank now owned the property and that they were prohibited from being on the property. They have gone. And we're trying to find out now which bank it is, because I have an interested party that wants to buy the property and clean it up. Gotta find out, and it has not been recorded, the ownership has not been recorded. Changed on the county website yet, so I don't. So I'm trying to get to the bank to get them to do that, so we're looking at that. So that's Benson, it's the work there has calmed down. I mean, there's nobody on the property, but it's a mess.
But our,
Should we hold our questions again, or I have a few on some of these?
But yeah, just when.
Okay, so on this one, so is the RV still out there?
No, the RV is gone, they're even out of town.
Okay, thank
all
you.
right.
Well, this council's good, huh? One meeting and boom. I'll take it. All right, thank you.
All right, so let's keep moving along here. Audit update. Our goal is to have the 23-24 audit done by the end of July. Because of the difficulties we've had in identifying certain payments from the US Treasury and some expenses without any documentation or verification, the process has been delayed. We will include these unknown payments into the general fund miscellaneous revenue line if we can't identify where they're from, or expense line if they are an expense. When this is complete, we will move forward with the 23-24 audit records to the auditors by Wednesday of this week, if you approve. We'll continue to shrink that number. It's $15,000, just under $15,000 right now that we cannot identify. When we started, it was over $50,000 for that 23-24 year. We approved the 22-23 audit with $50,000 of unknown funds. So we're doing substantially better. Some people we know and love are not happy with the $15,000, but she will continue to try and identify that. but it's time to recommend, send the stuff to the auditor and start on 23, 20 or 24, 25. Man,
So when you say, $15,000, it just means we just can't identify what.
we have $15,000 in cash in the bank and we don't know why the treasury sent it to us. We don't know what it was for, what it was supposed to pay for, what it was supposed to offset, we don't know anything about it. Or there could be a $3,800 bill that we paid to a trust fund that we have no idea what the trust fund is, why we paid it, who it was for. We have no information, no anything.
Okay, so and then what happens after if we send all this information in and then we figure that out? But
We can always go back and do a prior year adjustment, but we've got to get the auditors going on this for the next audit. Sure.
So what if your council agrees, let's end the search and move this audit forward with the information we have. What's the auditor gonna do with this kind of unreconciled $15,000?
Same thing we did with 22, 23. We're gonna have at least 4 findings. This is probably the same 4 that we had with 22, 23 because the same problems exist with this budget. But it'll also be an unqualified audit, which means they're not gonna have an opinion on it. We'll take the findings and we'll move forward on the 24,
Okay.
25.
And that $15,000, it's revenue, it can't be spent, what happens to it?
It's revenue and it can be spent. It's in the bank. We have it in the bank.
It can be spent.
Yeah, because
Okay,
it's in the bank.
after the audit's done, that frees it up. Is that
Well,
right?
it's in the bank now. It's in the bank balance now. So what we can't do is identify the source of the funding, but it's still in the bank. So as long as it's in the bank,
It's our money.
it's our money.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Thank you. That's a good.
Can I ask a question? Is it a single transaction? No, it's multiple things that add up to the 15, right? Okay.
Yeah. And this morning it started out at 17, but by this afternoon it was down to 15 because she keeps working on it, which is what we need. Yes.
And so you were looking for direction on the council?
Going forward.
Yeah,
Going forward.
and was one of the options to continue looking until Wednesday and then submit at Wednesday?
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
That's what we would like to do.
Sounds good.
Everybody's good with that direction? All right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And can you restate again, what did that number start at? You said 15,000.
Well, this morning it was 17,000. Now it's down to 15,000. When we first started, it was 50,000.
Yeah. So
And Mary Ann hates to give up without finding this, so this is a big deal for us to do this, cause she hates it. She'd rather like,
put it under the rug and.
no, she'd rather like.
No,
find
that's what I'm
it.
saying, that's what we're doing. It's
Yes.
just Like, the home's not gone, but.
Right.
My money is under finding.
Right? You'll find it some way, one of these days.
Well, it's interesting. We're finding that the mistakes kind of carry through. So as they made this mistake last year. Oh, look, they're continuing to make.
Yeah.
But every day we find a new one. And one of the biggest ones we found is now CFO. If they didn't know what to do with it, they put it into a holding fund.
Yeah.
And was holding it until they figured out what it was in. And then today we figured out they put it in a holding fund, they put it in holding of that, that, but then they took it all out at a lump sum, which makes it very difficult to determine if it's there or not. So anyway, she's working on that. On our water system improvement project, we held a pre-construction meeting with Crestline Construction on Thursday, July 16th. After the meeting, the engineers, contractor representatives, and public works crew walked the projects. Several improvements were recommended, which will result in a better distribution system, but at an increased cost. The original was $241,100. We have $225,000 budgeted for the project. We do not know the final cost yet, but we do have adequate reserves and contingency in the water fund to cover any cost difference. But what we're getting is improved. And I'll just give you an example. We have an 8-inch water line coming in one direction, an 8-inch water line coming in another direction, and it's at a 6-inch. Squeezes down to a 6-inch water line, and then the line goes up Wheeler from the 6-inch water line. And what the contractor said was, we were only gonna replace the line going up Wheeler. But they said it makes sense to connect the 8-inch with 8-inch and then go up the hill with the 8-inch water line or 6-inch water line to get better pressure. So it's those kinds of little tweaks that we're doing on the project. Again, we'll let you know what the changes are as they come. Our EDA hardening project, we're very close to having a bid package for the EDA. We're approved. The Oregon certified engineer that was working on the project left our engineering firm. The new engineering firm, the engineer that came to our project was not certified in Oregon. And the original estimate was it would take 2 to 4 months to get him certified. And we have to have certified plans, 100% approved engineered plans before the bid. He was able to get that in a matter of about a week. And so we're finalizing the plans. We'll run them by the EDA and hopefully we can get everything done and have to bid before September 21st, when we have to say go or no go. On Thursday, July 23rd, I attended the kids' Community Economic Development Strategy meeting in over at Skamania. McKidd covers Skamania, Clickitat, River, Wasco, Sherman, and Gillum County, so they had a bunch of statistics based on the region, not broken down by county. But the meeting was to review that economic data for the region. Employment numbers are down, number of people employed is down, but businesses are up and wages are up. A number of businesses, a number of wages. Home ownership is up, particularly in Hood River County, which was kind of interesting to see. But our age is up in the region, mortgage rates are up, home prices are up, childcare costs are too costly or providers are non-existent. School attendance is down because we have an aging population and we don't have families moving in. Tourism is down from the numbers, and the industry, tourism industry has the lowest average wage rate in the region. The work itself, depending upon where the material needs to be deposited, online. All of these factors will be addressed when the strategic plan is completed next year, but that's gives you a little glimpse of what's going on in the gorge. We are an aging, stagnant economy at the moment. The Russell Creek slide, ODOT met was on site with FEMA last week. FEMA will fund 75% of the removal. They're working with US Forest Service right now on where to move the material to. And once that is determined, they can they will issue a contract and the slide should take 2 weeks to remove. McCord Key.
So what's the timeline?
Depends on how long it takes for the architectural and ecological clearances. And where they have to decide where to take all the material. The ODOT would like us to shove it off the side. The Forest Service says, no, you gotta haul it away. Okay, where are we gonna haul it away to? So, but after the contract is done, they expect it to take a couple of weeks to get the trail cleared.
Okay, so, but are they on it now? Why, it's not clear to me. What, are they actually, is it actively moving forward now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this will,
This will be done this year.
okay.
Yeah. The funding was what was holding it up before. Who was gonna fund it?
The whole area below it is just a fill from another slide. And the entire area below,
Well, like it's history here.
it's all fill.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with ODOT on this. They should just dump it in the forest, but
But, okay, well, I'm sorry.
Well, it's already in fill.
I know, so.
Okay, McCord Creek Bridge, as we indicated earlier, the new bridge is still on track to open by the end of August, though construction is always subject to change, and the project itself will be done in the late fall. Once the eastbound bridge is open to traffic, these are the impacts from the ODOT project's website. 1, when the new eastbound bridge opens, all travel lanes will be open during the daytime for the remainder of the summer. Nighttime single lane closures are expected. And 2, expect periodic daytime and nighttime single lane and shoulder closures in both directions from late summer through the fall of 2026. So there is relief coming.
Good.
Again, remind you of your legislative priorities, go ahead and keep reading those. And then the last item was the tourism grants. Last council meeting, we had the question that we previously heard about since when do we pay people after they come to town? Aren't the tourism dollars supposed to be spent? So this is what they bought. They bought first aid kits, liquid for hydrogen multiplier, compostable storage zip bags, paper soap strips, toilet paper, tooth care, protein products, total $443.19. That was action was approved by the tourism committee on June 15th. And that's the report there. I asked the city attorney if he agreed with the following statement. It was a legitimate expense because it helps tourists, hikers who are visiting our place, making their stay more pleasant and in some cases healthier. While the council is responsible for all expenditures, the tourism committee controls 30% of the transient lodging tax that is collected and dedicated to the tourism committee. If that committee is comfortable with the expense, the council should support that committee. And he agreed with that.
Just so you know, it's liquid IV.
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like all the.
All right,
Okay,
Bernard.
so if I'm hearing the attorney right, there's nothing illegal about this expenditure.
correct.
I thought it was inappropriate or
That's what I.
improper
Yeah.
expenditure.
I agree.
He doesn't feel that way. He didn't conclude that.
Correct.
So, okay. Fair enough. And then I did have one question on the water system improvement project.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled that we're getting the engineers, and we're tweaking this. And as we all know, I wanted to give our fine city administrator 10% contingency over 241 and continue to march. But so you're saying it's gonna exceed the 225, but we've got contingency, and again, we talked about that.
Right.
But do we know, where are we now? What is the current expected expenditure for this?
It's
total
still a
project?
contract price of 241. They haven't done the priced out the changes yet that they've scoped yet.
But-
We haven't got.
But they basically said, we're gonna spend more than that if you wanna do these things that make it more efficient and a smarter system.
Right.
They told you that already.
Yes,
Okay, but we don't know how much.
No.
When will we know that?
probably when the first change notice comes in.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments on the city administrator report?
I just wanna say that, that on the school and, school attendance going down, it could be because a lot of people are homeschooling too.
Yes. Yeah, I just, Skamania is close to, or Stevenson's close to schools,
Yeah,
but that's.
COVID broke a lot of things.
Alrighty, so we're gonna be moving on because we got so much to cover tonight. I don't want you guys staying the night here. I don't wanna stay the night. So city administrator reports done. So we got mayor and city council comments. Let's start with you, Bernard.
Okay, so let's see. Two things, I applied for an LOC grant and was accepted of that, so I'll be going in October. And spending 3 days in Salem and learning how we can make our city even better than it already is, so looking forward to that, and it's great that LOC is making that. And then, the Scotch Broom project update. I talked to the property owner. He agreed to kind of store the chipped material on his property. We're gonna put a tarp over it so it doesn't blow around and spread the seed. And then it'll, it will die, it will decompose, if it's contained in one space. So we've got a plan. I'm renting a chipper Friday night, and we're gonna be chipping all day Saturday. For the public that's watching, or if you know anybody, I would love a hand with that day. I need someone, not only we need to put the branches in there, but someone needs to rake the bed of the truck, because it's gonna spit it out, and they have to push it. If you wanna fill the truck, you gotta rake it in there. It's a process, and I'm looking for some assistance. You don't have to be there all day. I'll take you for an hour. I'll take you for 6 hours. However long you wanna work, I would welcome it. And we'll get it done and reduce wildfire risk, and there's fun stuff up there. I was just up there. Let's see, a week ago Thursday, and saw a huge black bear on the PCT. And I surprised him, and he kept doing, rumbling down the mountain, you know, but I could see him because I had a great van. He stopped, he's looking at me and I'm looking at him or her, and it was really cool. Our nature rocks. And let's keep it healthy by removing Scotch Brite.
Are you doing that on August 1st or July 31st?
August 1st. I'm picking it up on
Saturday,
Friday.
okay,
Saturday, people are off. That's when we're doing the shred.
all right. Thank you, Bernard, for all your work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney?
I don't have a lot to say. I'm glad to hear from one of our business owners here in town. That was really awesome. I like the double-sided paper personally. That could be split up into sections maybe, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But I think double-sided is eco-friendly and. That's what I.
Thank you, Courtney. Tom?
Yeah, same thing, I'm glad that the bike, and talk about, I've rented a bus for the great. Great road all the way out to the other end and back and. In no shape to do that, but by doing an electric bike, I didn't pedal once.
Yes.
I took a nice cruise down the road and back and enjoyed it, but and I think that one of the potential, we look at them because they rent them. But the potential issue is that lots of people get these things, so you got the KOA. And you're seeing a lot of bikes on, people are carrying with them, like, so you have potential, of a lot of these bikes be able to come out of the KOA too. So I don't know, I was just, when I brought it up, because citizens brought it up to me, so we'll keep an eye on how all that goes up there. Yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you, Tom. Sure.
I don't really have anything, man.
Thank you. Pete?
Yeah, again, it was great seeing Ben, I haven't met him before, so it was great to
Yeah.
hear kind of their origin story and kind of the success of their business. It's really cool to see. As you guys know, I was out camping in Central Oregon at Coke Palisades State Park. We were surrounded by 3 wildfires, one of them that lit off while we were out there. And we're literally on water watching the bench fire, and you can see just, as it moving through the brush and whole trees just disappearing in 10 seconds. It was just nuts. But it made me think about, the risk that we have here in our community. And then, I get back to our neighborhood and I look at that whole development and that grass hasn't been cut all summer. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, the fire chief and the community liaison officer have sent letters to, I think 14 different properties, to update one of them. 10 of them have complied, 4 have not. New letters have gone out last week to them to get them done.
How does that work for that development though? Cause you said 14 properties, but there's.
No, you sent it to the developer.
So that 14 properties is this,
It's 14 separate homeowners or properties.
I see, so this would be one of those 14 is that developer that has all of those home sites.
That's correct.
Cause that plat is a lot more.
Yes, yeah, that's like
25.
Yeah.
This is the second year that they did that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we talked about this, when I brought this up to the fire chief in the spring, this specific issue, this specific location. Last year, they, I think, said that they would do some cutting, but the fire chief was concerned about them out there cutting during time when we could have risk of fire. And so they only cut like 10 feet back from the street, but they have failed to cut that vegetation back the last 2 years.
Well, they were out this weekend cutting up the top of the hill, but I was hoping they would do a whole lot more than what they cut.
Who was cutting at the top of the hill? Was it, because we have a neighbor that does that just pro bono, he's just out there with.
A guy with a great big pickup truck or a dump truck and lots of tools in the back of it.
Right, but that could be our neighbor that lives in the community that does that for free.
Oh, could be, but I don't know, he was kind of. But the homeowners association is responsible for that, yes.
There is no, the HOA right now belongs to the developer.
That's correct.
Right, again, this is the second year in a row, they have failed to comply with our, can we get ahead of this next year?
We'll check it out.
Under citation. penalties that we.
Yeah, I mean, let's get some money out of them, you know, like,
Well,
they
that just be a
can't.
motivator, hopefully.
Right, I mean, that's what we did last time, is we find them and then we put a lien on the property. These are properties they want to sell, you know, so I think.
Yeah.
It motivates.
Hopefully that's what they're talking about now.
Yeah.
What we're doing.
I'd like to get ahead of this for next year, because I think at this point it's, you know.
Yeah.
At least, still should address it this year.
Yeah.
Things,
Do you have any, you're done?
that was it.
All right.
I just said wildfires,
Yeah.
it's really scary to watch those things, you know, right in front of you.
Yeah.
And that's a big old hill. It's a lot of dry grass. Exactly.
All right, thank you, Pete. Tiffany,
So is that HOA, are they in HOA? Because I knew there was a
Yes.
lot, there was a lot of trouble.
it went to the Winsong 2, right?
What's on two is their HOA and,
Yeah.
and it's like.
No, Kathy's got it.
Only the common properties
Is-
on one is part
Part
of the HOA for Winsong two. If there are vacant properties in Winsong one, that would be the owners of those lots.
That's
Right.
the top of the hill. The bottom of the hill where Winsong two is, that's there's Winsong two, the developers are still responsible for all of those vacant
Yes.
properties.
Yes.
I just remembered that there was an issue with the HOA.
Yeah.
So Winsong 1, I just want to make sure that's clear, is the common areas are part of the HOA for Winsong 2.
Correct.
However, individual properties are up to whoever the property owners are.
And Winsong one,
One, right, because Winsong 1 technically does not have an HOA, correct?
correct.
Okay,
Winsong two does have a.
yes,
They are supposed to have. a-
right, okay,
They're supposed to.
all right, and thank you, Kathy, for clarifying that for us, all right, Tiffany?
I too want to say thank you to Ben for coming. I got to talk to him a little bit earlier today when I was being the mayor's feet. And a really nice guy, because, you know, I just presented, you know, that I was looking for, a scooter for my special needs daughter, and I'm like, I know you do bikes, but do you have any recommendations on this? And he's like, yeah, I'll research it for you. And I'm like, great, that'd be great, because I have no idea. I mean, you can look on the internet and find 5 million things, but it just might not be the right fit. So, you know, I gave him all this, so he's just really nice. It was, I thought that was really nice that he'd take that on. The speed trailer hasn't been in town this year on that end of town, and we got people that just fly in. Can we request that back from
Try.
Sheriff? And I was hoping, in your city administrator, what's this grant that the Port of Cascade Locks received for the code? Do you had,
Tourism report.
is it for what?
It's in the tourism report.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't say,
It's
It's a code grant.
It's a cove grant, it's nothing in town.
oh,
It's out of town.
out of town. Okay, I was just curious what it was. And that reminds me, I mean, do we get like a letter every once in a while from the port? Hey, this is what we're doing. I mean, do we give a letter to the port like, hey, this is what we're doing? I mean, I feel like we've kind of lost our communication with this other government entity that we have in town. I mean, I know you go to meetings.
We meet, city administrator and myself meet with Port once a month. Our first Wednesday of the month, every month, except this time we rescheduled because of the OMA conference. So if you guys have questions or concerns or anything for the port, or if you wanna come, you're more than welcome to attend it. But we generally talk about anything, and I do have PCT days is a item that I have not forgot from last year, because we wanted to make sure that they had porta potties on the main street and parking was handled better and all these things, so I've been making sure Jeremiah's, that's still on their radar and all that stuff, so. Anybody can attend these meetings with the port, it's usually Jeremiah and sometimes Brad Lorraine, the president of the commission, will attend. But anybody is welcome. Bernard.
But they don't do like a port update monthly or quarterly or
What's
something
going
like
on? Yeah.
No,
that.
we didn't have any communication, no dialogue with them, except that the mayor would meet with the port once a month, but since Gordon has been city administrator, he is now attending the meetings with me, so I'm trying to get the city back where we have a report where working together, right? And the port and all that. So,
Okay, and then, yes, we already addressed the separate the category. I don't mind if it's double sided, but I do need them in a separate. So that I can.
You're way beyond my capability.
Oh, come on now. You've got young staff, I bet you can figure it out. Yeah, cause it was really hard, cause it's hard to pull things out, and cause if I don't want the whole packet, and I just want to know. Okay.
So the Port of Cascade locked up $25,000 to pave the existing gravel parking lot and access road and add ADA accessible parking spaces at Herman Creek Cove. That's down.
okay,
The site serves kayakers, anglers, mountain bikers, and other recreation users with access to the popular easy climb trail. And so that's, you go past, free down.
Oh, okay.
That parking,
Mhm.
they're gonna pay that.
Oh, okay, nice.
Are you sure it's that parking lot or?
Herman Creek Cove is what it says.
Right, but they've got two entries, they've got where the kayak comics is now. Which is on one side of the giant boulders, on the east side of giant boulders, and then. That road that you're talking about drives down on the west side of giant boulders and goes to another gravel lot.
Yeah, so that's the three.
They both have creek access.
I just,
yeah, yeah.
And just a couple more things, while we were driving around, I looked at, at the bathrooms up at. The port's bathrooms up on the trailhead, and they're actually very nice, they have an epoxy coating on the floor. And it's just very easy to clean, I wonder, I know. I just wonder if we can upgrade, and then on the door, they say where the grant money came from, and if you're hungry, go here, here, and here. I just thought it was really nice, everybody should take a look and see if that would be a direction that we might want to go on these bathrooms down in town. Also, the walkway into the city hall over here, pretty wonky, are we, do we know? I know Jordan did something, but I'm not really sure too, because it was just like,
This here walkway here,
so as it warms up, the metal expands, and so that's why.
okay,
But it was engineered by our city engineer, the support system.
but that was a temporary fix and that was before you were here, so we do need to get that better done. But maybe we could look at that sometime, but it does need, cause you can definitely tell us,
Temporary.
yeah, temporary, just like that.
Well, okay,
it's on the hit list.
so I'm temporary.
You didn't know that, but.
Temporary. I've got it on my new city administrator to-do list for you guys.
Oh, good. I'm gonna write that down. New city administrator.
Okay, and then the fourth thing, it would have kind of been nice to know about this, I don't know how to say, Enchi.
In short,
Wanna,
you know, if I knew about it,
yeah,
instead of the day before.
Yeah.
I would have been happy to let you know and the tourism
I mean,
committee.
cause it would have, especially would have been nice for the mayor to be able to be down there and greet them or whatever, so, yeah, it's just part of that communication thing that that's all I have.
Think so. All right, I just want to say thank you to council, because I do realize this is a free position that is all volunteer, and I really appreciate everybody giving up their time. On that note, there is 3 positions coming to open on council. 3 counselor positions, so I would hope that,
And mayor position, I just want. to.
yeah, you guys would all consider to put your name in the hat one more time, because we're an awesome council. So consider that. And then I'll be at the OMA, the Oregon Mayors Association Conference from August 6th to the 8th. And I've been going around and also online trying to get different businesses in town, all the businesses that want to put in for the mayor's basket. So what they do is put it up for silent auction and people vote or bid on it. And then whoever wins it gets it. But that money goes for scholarships and stuff. So Bernard gets to go on a scholarship. I'm going to the OMA on a scholarship with 3 Nights Hotel as well. So it's for a good thing. I focused on businesses in town because I wanted the basket to reflect what we have here. And I've got some awesome donations from all different businesses. I'm gonna make a Facebook post once I get the basket all together and a thank you, and then make sure I do thank you cards. But Bike the Gorge gave $150, TA Bay gave a bunch of stuff, Main Street Cascade Locks gave.
Basket.
The port, yeah, they gave a picnic basket, and the port gave a vest, and, Brigham Fish gave some earrings and a gift card, so it's really coming together really nice, and it's really gonna represent what we do. I went down to Son of Man and Landmass because I'd like to see some wine and some cider maybe, so. And then I got, Gorgeous Brewery, so still have a few of them that I'm working on, but we should have a really nice basket to present for Cascade Locks.
Horseradish in there?
No, we need some
We
of
need,
that.
I think our Cascade.
We do, that's like our
I'll
main
donate
thing.
the horseradish if you know when to do it, I'll happy to
I
do
think that
that.
has to be refrigerated.
Yeah,
Does it have to
she
be
did ask,
Oh.
Even after, even if it's not open.
she did ask about that, and I said, I
Yeah.
didn't know how that would work, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind, strike that.
Yeah.
Yeah, coupon for horseradish.
Well,
Yeah.
When they come.
Yeah, cause the businesses that are given and stuff, I mean, cause people think, oh, it's going to Ashland, but there's gonna be mayors from all over, from Hood River, from the Dalles, everywhere, so. Anybody could use this basket, so I'm excited about that. We have the second Saturday of the month yard debris, which is August 8th, and that will be from 8 to noon. Also want to point out that we still have 3 openings on tourism, 2 on budget and 1 on planning. If we can get people to sign up. I attended last Wednesday down at Extopia with the West Columbia Gorge Chamber meeting. It was really nice. It was quite a few businesses and stuff that came out to Cascade Locks. There was probably 30 people there. Mount Hood Community College, there's, some other people that they would like to come and present to us at some point. So I'll be bringing that to you guys and see who you would like to hear from or whatever. There's some legal stuff and things like that that, let you guys make the decision. I want to thank, Ben from Bike the Gorge for coming and telling us a little bit about his business. I went down there and seen his warehouse and stuff, and it's pretty nice down there. And then Benson Street, I'm glad to know that that's coming to an end and that the, the citizens know we heard them and that we're actually, stuff's getting done there. And then also with the audits. Mary Ann, I know it's hard to move on before you find that last little bit. But thank you so much for getting us through these audits. And that's really all I have now. As far as the port, whenever I do a meeting with them monthly, you guys are welcome to attend anytime. It's usually at 9 o'clock on the first Wednesday of the month, unless something comes up. But I can ask Jeremiah if you guys want like a monthly report of what they got going on, or quarterly. What are you guys thinking, real quick?
They used to do a report. They used to have like our little newsletter.
Like not a flash report, no, because that was tourism.
A newsletter.
A newsletter from the port.
They've done newsletter.
Yeah, what are they doing? I mean.
Okay,
So the park will be here on August 10th,
August 10th.
so you can ask them that.
Okay. All right,
I know it's not normal to go backwards, but I thought of something else that I forgot to say, is that okay?
all right.
All right, Amy Schleppe from, the executive director of Columbia Area Transit, she's come before council
Yes.
before. They have an open board position. It's to fill a vacancy, it's a one year term. And so, she was just looking, she's hoping to get representation from Cascade Locks, so.
That would be awesome.
Wanted to put that out there for anybody else that might be watching. If you're interested, I can get you more information on that.
Thank you, Pete. All right, so without no further business, we will move into executive session and we will excuse Gordon from this part of the meeting, so he will leave. And we have Rob and Kathy and
So we need to.
stop recording
YouTube live.
and YouTube live. So I'll go ahead and recess.
Easy question. You want me to come back from the medicine or?
No.
All right.
Got it? Have a good night.
Hi, Carrie. Nice to see you.
Yeah, so I am recessing the regular session and will be entering into executive session under ORS 192.6602A. To consider the employment of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent. The information being presented in executive session is confidential and may not be reported. Council will re-enter regular sessions either. We won't be making a decision or adjourn the regular session. At this time, all general public must leave. If media is present, they may be allowed to stay, but you cannot report on it as everything is confidential. And then we need to make sure everybody's left Zoom and everything's off.
We good? We go ahead and do that?
Yep, we're good to do that.